downtown were twofold. One being Charleston Day School, where it was just, 2 blocks away from my house, and we could walk or ride bikes. And it was such a small group, you were just so close, and those were your friends, and we just had a wonderful time, for the most part. And secondly, Hazel Parker Playground, where I spent every afternoon, literally, of my life. A typical day in my life growing up downtown was that we'd get up, the maid would be there in time to serve breakfast. We ate at the dining room table. I can't do the imitation, the shrimpy, row that he would holler, but I mean, you could hear his voice as soon as he turned the corner. I do love that. I love, the vegetable man even came by. I mean, I remember that more specifically on Sullivan's Island in the summers, because he would come with his mule and vegetables in the back. In fact, and the vegetable man came, but the shrimp man, I mean, and he didn't come every day. I remember that, and I don't remember if there was certain days that he came on, or it was only if he had shrimp. I don't remember, but I mean, I can remember sitting at the breakfast table, because he always, my house anyway, he came around pretty early. And then everybody went off to school, and I was the baby, so I was still at Charleston Day School, and usually somebody would come by to pick me up, Adele, or you, or Frank. And then we'd go down the street and get Randall and walk around the corner to school. And then we'd get Randall, and we'd go on to school and have our day at school, where you stayed in the same classroom all day, and the teachers moved. I mean, first of all, you only had this one teacher through the 3rd grade, and then starting in the 4th grade, the teachers would move to us. And then at recess, we had the reds and the blues, and we had races and things, and one team won. And then you'd go home at lunchtime. We get out at 10 to 2, so we could be home to have dinner, which was in the middle of the day at 2 o'clock. And my father came home from work. I think most fathers did, and that meal was also served by the cook. And everybody, shared their day. And then I would go off to East Bay Playground, and we would play one of whatever sport the season was, whether it was kickball, then basketball, then track. And then you'd come home and do your homework. Supper was just whatever you could pick up, a sandwich or whatever, and do your homework and go to bed. But it was an ideal life. The people that stand out in my mind the most from growing up were Sam Stoney, obviously, because he was such a character. But do you remember old lady Charlotte, who used to drive like a maniac? I mean, we would get out of the street if we saw her coming. I always thought she was a real character. She lived down on Lower Trad, but below me, and I mean, we'd get out of her way. Who else? Sam Stoney was a historian. I don't know what else. Did he do anything else for a living? I don't remember. But he was everywhere. I mean, it just seems to me that everywhere you turn around, there would be Sam Stoney. And he always knew everything. Historically, he knew, where, who had owned everything from when, for generations, and who had been where. And it just, he was a figure bigger than life. I mean, when we lived downtown, you knew everybody. You knew your friends, you knew your friends' siblings, you knew your friends' parents, you knew your friends' parents, and everybody was connected. And I don't feel that that's the same, that they're, that we're more of a melting pot now, and there are such diverse cultures and habits that I just don't know how that's going to affect the day-to-day life.